Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargame Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. The Monday painting video is a video where I take a model that you guys have voted on and I paint it up. From last week's Weekly Wednesday, I show you a host of models and you guys vote on what you want me to paint for today's video. So that's the gist of today. For all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. So we have Sergeant Ripper Jackson and Imperial Commissar. So we're going to dice roll. 1 to 3 is the Ripper Jackson, 4 to 6 is the Commissar. As a 6, that's the Imperial Commissar. So I'm going to get him primed up, ready to go, and we'll come back and add some colour on him. And I'm really looking forward to paint this one as well. So no, do you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do both of them. I'm going to do both of them. I'm going to attempt to do both of them. Because it's... Yeah, I'm going to do both of them. Screw it. Because he's wearing mostly leather, so he's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I'm going to do both of them. They're both primed up, ready to go, and I'm going to do both of them. 2 for 1. Right, so all I've done is undercoat them and give them a little dry brush, a heavy dry brush I say, of some Steel Legion drab. Now I know this the Ripper Jackson has skulls and stuff on the base, so I just wanted to give it a dirty look to start with. Now I'm going to start with the Commissar, get him done, and then we'll go to the Ripper Jackson. So starting off, my wet palette has Rhino Oxide, of course, some Bugman's Glow, it's a lovely colour for skin, Mephiston Red, that's the airbrush version because I want it to be a little bit thinner, and some Lead Belcher, again that's the airbrush version because I want it to be a little bit thinner. So the first thing I'm going to do with this Commissar is going to lock in all the Rhino Oxide across the leather on his body. So lock it all in. I'm not going to show you all on camera, I'm just going to do a bit of it. His jacket, he's got a weapon pouch there. That's going to be one of the problems with this model in particular. There's a lot of leather on him. So it's just literally paint all leather on and then look at what way I can break that leather up even more to make it, to single it out and make it different. One way of doing that is obviously a bit of dry brush on, but another way, you see the edge of it there, at the bottom corner, I haven't done the whole thing with Rhino Oxide, and just inside there I haven't done it. So it gives it a dark look, but it's not quite the same leathery colour. And that will break it up. I'm going to go off camera now and do the rest, and I'll come back to you then. Right, so I've added a little bit of Army Painter's War Paints Weapon Bronze to the wet palette. The reason for this is I really love this colour. It's more of a... It looks like a beaten copper, but it goes on, it looks like a gold when it's on. So what I'm going to do is get in there and do his breastplate. It's obviously fantastic. I'm just going to go around and pick out, and I like his back piece here and his little shoulder tufts. And just pick out, he's got his wrist plates as well. I'm going to pick those out with this colour and then come back to you then. And there's that colour. It looks absolutely fantastic. I think it looks better than gold, to be honest with you. Just absolutely love that colour. So now I'm going to come in with some Bugman's Glow. And this is going to be a really, really careful job. I'm going to come in and I'm going to get all the skin parts. Some of you are going to look at this kind of going, that's a bit bright, John. What the? It's not that skin. That's a bit weird. It does dry off, like, look amazing. So I'm going to get the hands, the face, and then come back to you then, guys. So here's how it looks now. Look how lovely that colour comes out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some lead belcher. I'm going to come in. I'm going to do the chains on the chainsword. Also the teeth, shall I say, on the chainsword. The little piping that comes off of him. His little thing on his wrist that powers the chainsword, I'd imagine. I'm going to get this. No, I'm not going to get up here. The bolt gun's going to get a bolt pistol. It's going to have a little dry brush of the silver. Now, those of you that are regulars here know I don't really go too crazy on the weaponry because I don't want to take away from the model itself, but I do want the gun to be noticed. So a nice little dry brush on it. Show a nice little sneaky peek. So I'm going to go off camera and do them. Now I'm going to come in with some of the Mephiston red, and I'm going to do the casing of the chainsword here. Why am I doing that? Because I want to really break up the chainsword from the hand and just really make it stand out with the model and break it up from the leather as well. By doing this, it is going to break the leather up. You'll see when it's dry what happens. It draws your eye to it, so your brain automatically tells you that yes, that's leather, but that's red over here. So it just really, it's a weird thing to explain. What I'm going to do is, am I going to back at that? No, I'm not. But he does have a couple of grenades on him. So I'm just going to give them a light coat of Mephiston red. Just to really break up the leather again. With the red on the chainsword, I don't want to make it, see how it is there with bits of black coming through? That's how I want it. So it looks warm. Now, for all intensive purposes, he is battle ready. Very, very simple model, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it past battle ready standard. So I'm going to leave it to dry for a minute, and I'll come back to you when I'm ready for the next bit. Now, I was going to come in with a shade across the gold bits, but I don't think I need to, really. I think they look absolutely fantastic. This is his back piece. Looks absolutely fantastic. What I'm going to do, I've got some Screaming Skull and wet palette. I'm going to come in and I'm going to dry brush his leather. Get all the dry brush. And the Screaming Skull will go on bright, but dull itself down, so there's no panic. If you look at it and think, oh, that's too much, it's not an issue. And the other thing with the Screaming Skull, if you do, for whatever silly reason, put too much on, you can easily go over it afterwards with some more iron oxide. Just tidy it up. At the same time saying it, I'm going to come in and I'm going to dry brush this gravel with Screaming Skull. So you'll notice that this base is only, after the black, is only two colours. So dry brush, some still Legion drab, and then some Screaming Skull dry brush. There's the leather so far. need to do is actually get in here a little bit. Now what I'm going to do, there's very little on there, if anything. I'm going to get the face. So you need to probably get a little bit more on there. I'm going to get the hands as well. So I think I was out of focus there. Now notice when I did the face, the way the model is situated, it didn't actually get the eyes, which is absolutely fantastic. So it gives them a very menacing look. I hate it when it does that. Focus on what's behind. There's nothing behind. So I'm going to leave that to dry for a minute, and I'll come back to you for the next bit. Right, so now I've got some white scars on the dry brush, and I'm going to not dry brush, but sort of just try and run along the seam lines, just to give it a bit more look of a worn. And the other thing with white scars, it is a layer paint, so it will go on bright like Screaming Skull and die itself down, which is cool. But that little line down there looks amazing, going down the side of where the coat overlaps each other. So I might just give that a minute or two to dry, and then just go over that bit again, just to make it a bit more bright, because as it dries it will dull itself down. And there we have him. I actually slapped a little bit of white scars across the face. You can see the little raised areas. Look nice. There's one last thing to do. I'm going to take a little bit more white scars, and I'm just going to just selectively dry brush this stone, just to give me a few white bits here and there. The one thing I love about this, focus in, underneath me you see it's brown and dusty and dirty. It's just like dirt formed between the rocks, which is absolutely fantastic. So where we have him, also, sorry, I also did his hat as well, with the same edge highlight type dry brush. So that's him done. One down, one to go. So if you guys like him, check a comment below, let me know. I'm going to get the other one over and start having a look. We'll start with that one. Right, where to start with this lovely lady? The first thing I'm going to start, let me just show you actually. I actually got some Warboss green, some Death Guard green, and some Vulcan green on the wet palette. So the first thing I'm going to start with is some Death Guard green. And I'm going to just give these foliage a little bit of a once over to give me some neutral colour green that I have the three that I've chosen. Sorry, I'm off camera again, I do apologise. It's not a heavy coat I'm putting on, it's just a There's another little, sorry, I've gone off again, I do apologise, another little plant here, whatever this is, looks like claws. But I'm going to go off camera and just finish off doing the greenery. Right, so that's just looking so far. So now I'm going to come with some Vulcan green. I'm going to get her leggings. Is that a bionic? That is a bionic leg. Oh, she's a bionic leg. I didn't realise that. Okay, so I'm going to get her leggings, not her bionic leg. The other leg. So in a waistcoat she is. So I'm going to get the waistcoat as well. No, she's not. Is that a waistcoat? No, it's not a waistcoat. It's like a waistcoat. It is a waistcoat. So I'm going to get that as well. I'm going to have camera and finish doing the Vulcan green. Right, now I'm going to come with the Bugman's Glow. I'm going to get all the skin parts on there. Don't see me do all the skin parts on there, even though I keep going over here. Sorry guys, I do apologise. Trying to keep it, get too excited with all the projects I have going on at the moment. Just delighted to have 2 models painted on this painting video instead of 1. So I'm going to come and do the rest of her. Well, while I'm waiting for her skin to dry, you can hear that rain coming down heavy out there. I'm going to come in with some Screaming Skull and paint her vest. Just get these teeth on these things with a little dry brush for Screaming Skull. There's a couple of skulls on her base, I'm going to give them a quick dry brush as well, some Screaming Skull. I say dry brush, and then lock them in. I'm going to just go over the rest of the base with the Screaming Skull just to lighten up a bit. I'm also going to give this little plant a quick dry brush just along the edges. Leave it to dry for a minute and come back for the next bit. Right, so now I'm going to come with lead belcher. She's got an iron leg. I think the top half is metal, yeah. Bionic legs, I say, she says. So I'm going to come in and get all that with a lovely little dry brush of the lead belcher. And the chainsaw, I'm going to do the same way that I did the Commissar's chainsaw. Dog gun can have a little dry brush down. Just these little things on our wrist as well. It's coming along nicely. Just leave it sit on dry for a minute. Then come back for the next colour. Right, I'm going to come with some iron oxide because there's a gun pouch here. Imagine it's a bolt pistol that she has there. It's all go here today. Everyone wants to come into the yard and make noise and everything else. I do apologise to all of you guys. The leather strap on the back of her legs. And she has a belt on as well, I believe. Yep. So I'm going to pick her belt out. And the strap on her gun. Right, so now I'm going to make sure there's no more straps. I'm actually whilst I'm at this angle. Then I'm going to get that unpainter one that looks like gold. I'm going to paint the casing of her Astar's chainsaw. And of course I wanted off camera again. Well done, John. So I'm going to dry for a minute and I'm going to come back to you for the next bit. Right, I've got some white scales on the brush. I'm going to come in and get a hair bandana. I'm also going to, there's a few skulls on her bases, on her base. I'm going to pick them up with some white scars, just to really make them stand out. These little claws from whatever she's just killed. It's going to be done. This little plant foliage here is going to have a dry brush across the teeth area. Dry brush this corn thing. Now what I'm doing, so I'm going along the edge of the plant, the spiky bits, and just chucking, just dry brushing away the last bit of white scars. White scars is a lab paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. Just one more thing I forgot to do. I'm going to come into her vest now to give that a little white scars. This bandana's a pain. I'll leave it to dry and we'll come back for the next stage. Right, so now I'm going to come in with some Warboss green, and I'm going to go over the top of her bandana, sorry, to give it a really weird looking bright colour. Right, now what I'm going to do, well, actually let's start again, shall we? This model now, for all intensive purposes, is about ready. But now I'm going to take it to the next stage. So I'm going to get some more Warboss green. I'm going to water it down on the wet palette. And I'm going to come in too much. I'm going to come in, I'm going to run it along the Vulcan green. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and just run it along sort of central in here. To give it a subtle light hint. Now when that dries, it's not going to dry very bright, but that's not a big issue. I'm going to drop a little bit on that. Now if I leave that to dry and then come back for the next bit. Right, so now I've got some Nibbler green. It's a dry paint. So those of you who don't know about dry paints, they look like sludgy mess. But I tell you what, they are not. They're absolutely fantastic. They come out perfectly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in and I'm going to just try and just drop a few little bits in on the dark green. Bum cheek as well, just to give a bit of camo type feel. And across the jacket. And I'm going to chuck a bit on a bandana, just to give it a bit more of a greeny look. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to dry brush these leaves. Nothing too fancy, just quick once over for a second pass. Making sure I've got so the green looks nice. Of course, I'll get this side of the plant. Be rude if I didn't. And then we have her. Obviously, the Nibbler green will dull down a little bit more. I got it on the arm, didn't I? Of course I did. Of course I did. Just made it worse. Well, don't worry about that mistake on the arm now. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Now I'm going to do my other thing actually. I'm going to come in with some white scars, and I'm actually going to dry brush. Give her skin a little touch up, and her face. Just give her a little bit more definition. Her hands, and all the muscles on her body. Because she's one muscly chick. There we go. So these two guys are done. So the first thing I'm going to say, guys, is thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe to the channel, and it helps the channel grow in a massive way, and it means I can bring you more content like this, more Let's Builds. You know, I'm actually got a terrain build planning for this week. Whether I get it done or not, I don't know, but it's planning to be started. You know, battle reports coming tomorrow. There's heaps of stuff going on this week, but the more subscribers I have, the more stuff I can get done. This is a sneaky peek of what's coming. This has to be finished and painted for tomorrow's game. Those of you that don't know what this is, I'm not going to tell you. Those of you that know what this is, you know what to expect. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to bring you down and show you some pretty pictures. But just hit the buttons for me if you haven't done so. For everyone else that's supported the channel all this time, you know, I feel love. Thank you very much. It really means a lot to me. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for voting. Until next time, pretty pictures. But until next time, take it easy.